Hey, and welcome to the latest episode of the Mind Body Health Podcast with myself, Dave Sheahan, high performance consultant and dedicated for over 25 years now to working with people, helping people just like you to regain control of the mind body health area of your life. Why? Because it has a catalytic impact on every other area of your life. And when you've control of the mind body health area of your life, you feel great, you have great confidence, great self-esteem, you have a great mindset, you truly believe that anything is possible. And that is the power of having a good mindset, especially. And that's something we're going to cover in this particular episode. Hope you're enjoying all the episodes so far. Love getting your feedback, love seeing the ratings and reviews. Keep dropping them. It's important to keep sharing it out there. So in today's episode of the Mind Body Health Podcast, I want to speak to you about why protecting your mental health is now more crucial than ever. Why protecting your mental health is now more crucial than ever. Now, I know some of you will be listening to this now in 2021, to start 2021, and you've experienced something crazy for the last near 12 months now, and 2021 doesn't look like it's going to be much different, could be much worse even, in terms of what we're going to experience and the stresses and strains and the emotional, energetic, mental and vibrational stress and strain that we're under. Like, we've never had such, like I call it, a psychological attack. And that's why your mental health is so crucial. Now, if you're not watching, you could be watching this in 2025 or listening to this 2025. It will still apply. It applied in 1980, the same message. Why? Because our mental health is super important. Now, I've spent over 25 years impressing upon people the importance of protecting your mental health, the importance of getting in control of your thoughts and your reactions, the importance of creating a positive mindset, the importance of positive mind feed, and the importance of who you listen to, what you read, all that kind of stuff. But now more than ever, people, I think, are starting to realize it is actually that bloody important. And, I'm working so closely with so many people of every kind of age, children as much as adults. I'm trying to get a good mindset and protecting mindset and regaining control of mindset. Because the bottom line is your mind is the control tower. Okay, your mind is the control tower. And if you're not in control of it, nothing is going to go the way you need it to go. Your emotions are affected, your mood's affected, your actions are affected, your results are affected, people around you are affected, your health's affected, everything is affected. If your mind is in a negative state, if it's consumed with negativity and consumed with negative emotions, you're creating so much, negative hormones like cortisol and so on, and so many toxins that are just going to be detrimental to your body, going to be detrimental to your health, to your longevity, towards your energy, towards your mood, towards your results, towards everything. Okay. And when we are being surrounded and bombarded with so much negativity and an incessant level, especially from the media, okay, now whatever you believe about what's going on the last 12 months in terms of what you believe is true, what you believe is not true, what you believe is right, what you believe is wrong, the one thing you cannot deny is that mental health has been affected. It's been affected for the vast majority of people. Varying degrees, of course. Some people are suffering massively with what's going on. Some people are not suffering at all, really, but there's still a whole negative kind of air out there, negative energy out there, and that has some effect on your mental health. Okay, I'm seeing that with people I work with who don't have any direct massive impact on their lives, but they still feel low, they still feel down every so often, because again, the negative energy is out there. This is why energy is so important. We are energy, you are energy. And the energy we put out, the energy that's around us, the energy that other people are putting out, it all has a huge impact on how we feel. And again, your mental health is everything. If your mental health is suffering because it changes and obstacles in your life, you need to prioritize focusing on your mental health. How can you build it up? How can you rebuild it? How can you strengthen it? It needs to be an ever-evolving process. I've worked on me for over 25 years now, and I will continue to do so until I take my last breath. And I'm sure I will continue to learn new tricks and habits and strategies and techniques that will improve various aspects of my lifestyle, including my mental health. I put a huge focus on my mental health because, growing up as a child and teenager, my mental health was not in a good place. It was in a very, very, very dark place. And it was only when I started working on myself physically and mentally that I started to see the power of what happens when you do take action and you do make progress in regaining control of your mind in particular, which, like I said, is a carryover to your physical health and your general health and every aspect of your life. You can create something that's nearly impenetrable if you work consistently at it. Now, I'm not impenetrable, geez, that was hard to say, but I'm as close as I can be. Of course, I can keep getting better and better, but I have a very strong mindset from working on myself for 25 years, from being very self-aware. Being self-aware is something that's important as well. Mental health is something that hasn't been spoken about much, ever really. It's like something, it's a hush-hush conversation, especially for men, like where, you can't really speak about your emotions. You can't show weakness, inverted commas, when the reality is it's very brave to speak out. It's actually very brave to share your emotions, to show vulnerability, to be authentic, to share your feelings, to let people know when you are feeling low, when you're feeling down, when you're not feeling strong, when you feel like throwing in the towel, when you don't even feel like getting out of bed. That's bravery. That's strength. That's having a good mindset. That's having, awareness that you need to take care of your mental health. Keeping it all in, keeping everything to yourself, trying to just battle on despite how you feel, that is not bravery. That is weakness. Okay, we need to totally reverse the way society sees these things, and we need to start having a conversation about mental health very, very openly. And it doesn't matter whether it's a 5-year-old need to share their emotions, or possibly worse, something that maybe happened to them at such a young age, to a teenager going through the usual challenges as a teenager. This goes for both men and female. Someone in university, college, someone who's in the workplace, someone who's suffering huge stress from their business and life challenges. People are suffering in their relationships, suffering with health issues, suffering with body image issues, suffering with financial situation. Everything impacts your mental health. Stuff that's going on in the world will affect your mental health. Stuff closer to home will affect your mental health. Stuff that's going on in your own head, in your own life, will affect your mental health. We need to start prioritizing it. It has never, ever, ever been so crucial. As I said a little earlier, I've always stressed the importance of it, always, because I became aware very, very young of just how important my mindset was. And I became very aware and conscious of the fact that, my mindset near destroyed me. It near ended my life because of how I was thinking, and how I was feeling, and the thought process I had, and how I was working on that, and how I felt about myself, especially. That was all down to my mental health. When you get control of mental health, you can make much better decisions. You're in much more control of what's going on in your life. You're in much better control of how you react to situations. So you are a human. You're not a robot. When shit happens, you're going to have an emotional response. It's typically not be a good one. You're going to go into fear mode, anger mode, frustration mode, upset mode, depending on what the trigger may be. But you will have a negative emotional state. Okay, you will drop your emotional state. But when you've got a good grip on your mental health, more often than not, you'll be able to pull yourself back up very fast. And that's the difference. People who don't have good mental health, they go into a dark place and go there very fast, and they stay there, and some never, ever come out of it. Okay. When you've got good mental health and it's an area you're aware of and you work on it consistently, you go to the dark place, but you don't stay there very long. You go into solution mode and you get the hell out of it, and you start taking action. That's hopefully going to find a solution to whatever the problem is. You get control of your emotional state again. It's really important that when your emotional state drops, you do something to bring it back up. You do something positive. You do something uplifting. You talk to someone who uplifts you, just being in their company, just speaking to them. You do something like that to lift yourself up. But the thing that you can control and you can work on every single day, is your mental health, your positive mind feed, the people who surround you, the level of toxic people and toxic information you allow into your mind. This is why I stress so much about positive mind feed. Like at a time when mental health is under attack, at a time when mental health is seen, mental health sufferers is everywhere, where they're suffering in silence or suffering out loud, or for many, it's too late, it can't be saved. It's everywhere. It always has been. It's just it's more amplified now. And it's going to get worse. And this is why we need to have this conversation about mental health. And we need to have an ongoing conversation about mental health. It needs to be all the time. We need to encourage openness. I want you to, from this moment on, to commit and promise to you, promise to me too, promise to you more than anyone, that you're going to openly communicate your feelings, what you want, what you're not happy with. Communicate everything, your problems, with at least one person who you feel you can confide in and you're happy to confide in. You need to do that. We all need to do that. We're all human. We're not robots. You know, we can't just keep functioning, fighting against it all the time. We have to work on our mental health. Exercise is a huge tool for mental health. You know, I'm stressing for many months now that forget the aesthetic elements and benefits of exercise. Focus instead on the mental health benefits. The best medicine for mental health issues is exercise. I've worked with hundreds of clients over the years, suffering from serious depression, recovering from suicidal attempts, eating disorders, all kinds of things, lots of mental health issues. Exercise has been a huge tool for me in working with them to change it and to turn things around. And thankfully for the vast majority, I've been able to, which has been so satisfying. Because when someone's in such a dark place, it's hard. And like I was in such a dark place for the vast majority of the first 20 years of my life. And that was tough. That's why I can empathize with you if you're in that situation right now, or with clients I've had over the years who have been. You know, your mental health really determines everything. Like I said, your mind is a control tower. You need to focus on how you can get to a stage where you have a strong mindset. You know, you're able to cope with things. You still are human. You're still impacted, but you're able to cope and get on with things and make the right decisions and react in the right way. Like the key always is reacting positively. Always about reacting. How do you react? React positively. React progressively. Go into solution mode. So I want you to, as I said, to commit to firstly openly communicating from now on. Openly communicate. That's the very first step. I want you to commit to working on your mindset, working on your mind, working on your mental health every single day. How do you do that? Well, I want you to always be very aware of those who are toxic in your life. Who are the people who do not add anything, who only bring negativity, who bring down your emotional state before you even meet them? Just the fact you know you're meeting them, you feel a bit lower. Who are those people? And I want you to limit your exposure to that or even eliminate those people where you can. I want you to start bringing people into your life who actually uplift you, who are like-minded, who will champion you on towards your goals as opposed to dragging you back to their level, you know, who make you laugh, who uplift your spirit. This is super important. The people around you have a huge impact in your life and have a huge impact on your mental health. You need to have the right kind of circle that's going to help you, that's going to push you forward, that's going to lift you up when you need to be lifted up. And you do the same to them in return. That is really important. I want you to look at activities that maybe you're doing right now that, again, bring down your emotional state, that affect your mental health, and stop doing them, or at least decide on a strategy or plan to get out of it. Could be your job. Maybe your job is very, very bad for your mental health. You maybe realistically cannot leave today. Maybe you can. If you can, fantastic. But if you can't, decide on a plan, decide on a deadline, start taking action towards what you need to do to make it a reality, and then make it a reality. Guys, life is short. You have no idea how much time you're going to get. So that's why it's so important for you to live life fully. Don't exist in fear. You know, don't let fear consume you in making decisions that will improve your life. Focus always on the reward. Focus instead on the benefits of you making the decision instead of being crippled and held back by the fear that is being created by the thought of making a decision. And this is why as well it's important that who you listen to. You know, only take on board what people say, who you respect, who walk their talk, who are worth listening to, who have experienced it themselves. It is so important you only listen to these kind of people. Okay? Your positive mind feed, really important in terms of what you've control over, what you watch on TV or your laptops, your phones, or whatever, what you consume with your eyes. Be very careful and very mindful that everything's having an impact. Same with your ears. What are you listening to? You know, what kind of music even some songs, because the lyrics are actually negative mind feed, even though you might like the kind of tune and the melody of it, the words are not. Be very selective what you listen to that way. Same as things like podcasts, audiobooks. You know, get positive mind feed in. Like every opportunity I get every single day, I'm listening to positive mind feed, typically from podcasts, sometimes from YouTube videos, sometimes from audiobooks, so podcasts particularly for me. That's what I use. Every single chance. When I need to uplift my spirits, when I feel just getting too low, I use music, uplifting music, trance music typically. Armin van Buuren being my favorite. trance music. That's what uplifts my mood. You need to do what you need to do to lift yourself up and again prioritize your mental health. So think about what you feed your mind on a daily basis. Think about who impacts your life and who influences your life and who's in your life, and whether they should stay there, whether it should be kept at arm's reach, or whether it should be kicked to touch. Think about who you need to bring in to your circle, or what kind of people you need to start bringing in or need to start finding. Surround yourself with like-minded people. This is such a huge thing for your mental health. It really is. The people in your life, like, remember, relationships is what determines life, determines happiness and fulfillment in life. At the end of the day, that is always what's remembered more than anything. So, you need to make sure you got good relationships, which means you'll have to have good people who are in tune and in line with your beliefs and your values. Very, very important. Okay. You need to make sure the activities you're doing make you happy, bring you happiness, make you feel fulfilled. They don't have a toxic impact. They don't have a negative impact. Look, bottom line, your mental health will determine everything. Your mental health right now can be improved. It can always be improved. Mine can be improved, and I'm in a good mental health state. But we can always be healthier, just like we can with our bodies and our general health in terms of ability to fight illness and disease, that we can always improve. Same with your mental health. You can always improve, and you should always be looking for ways to improve. I cannot stress enough to you just how crucial and important protecting your mental health is in general, always has been, always will be into the future. And right now, depending on when you're listening to this, it is even more important than ever before in your life. You need to get a grip on it. As I said from the start, this starts by you opening your mouth, communicating your feelings, communicating your mood, communicating what's bothering you, your challenges, your obstacles, people who are bothering you. All these kind of things. Communicate. Then focus on what you're feeding your mind and make sure you're feeding it what it needs. Like if you feed your body McDonald's versus loads of raw vegetables, your body's going to react in a very different way. Your body's going to be a very different way. Same with your mind. Feed your mind what it needs. Okay? Focus on mental health. Now more than ever, please commit to yourself that from this moment on, from this podcast on, you will prioritize your mental health. And remember, it's an ever-evolving process. It isn't that you'll suddenly have a perfect mindset tomorrow because you listened to a few things today. No, this goes on forever. Make it part of your daily routine, like brushing your teeth. You listen to positive mind feed. You're always conscious of how to improve your mental health. And importantly as well, be self-aware. When things are getting too much and you need a bit of a timeout, take a timeout. When you need to do more of something, do more of something. Become self-aware. Tune into how you're thinking. Tune into your thoughts. Become better at reacting to your thoughts in a positive manner, whether they are negative thoughts or positive thoughts. Just like real life situations. You'll have great ones that are wonderful opportunities. You've got terrible ones that are awful, fear-inducing obstacles and challenges. How you react is what matters. Okay, so like I said, now more than ever, protecting your mental health is absolutely crucial. Please start to do it. I hope this little message has helped. I'd love to get your feedback. Please leave a rating and review if you watch this on Apple Podcasts. Shoot me a message if I can ever be of help in any way, or you want to give me some feedback in this podcast. And make sure you listen to other episodes. Make sure you're sharing it out there. And remember, every Saturday morning, I drop a new episode. And keep sending in your questions and topics you'd like me to cover. And also, I'll be starting to do a few guests soon. So just let me know any guests you'd like me to have to. All right, guys, take care. Have an awesome day. Protect your mental health. Empower your mental health. Every single day, strengthen your mental health. It's an evolving process. It's up to you. Remember, take personal responsibility because it's a choice. And there are no excuses. No blame game. No excuses. This is up to you. What's your level of mental health going to be in the next 12 months? Make the right decisions. Take care, guys. Look forward to speaking to you on the next episode.